Hi, I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical-grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician, who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. Representatives of Russia and Ukraine met for their second round of peace talks in just over 2 weeks. But aside from agreeing to swap thousands of their dead and seriously wounded troops, they've made no progress towards ending the 3-year-old war. Speaking with reporters, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked if President Trump would meet with his Russian and Ukrainian counterparts in a bid to find peace.
The president has said he's open to it if it comes to that, but he wants both of these leaders and both sides to sit down at the table together. And we saw them do that at the urging of President Trump today. But as for how the president feels about those talks and what took place there, I'll let him speak on that.
A man accused of using a makeshift flamethrower and an incendiary device to attack a group in Boulder, Colorado, that had gathered to bring attention to Israeli hostages in Gaza has been charged with a federal hate crime. President Trump says the attack was horrific and won't be tolerated in the U.S. The AP's Sagar Meghani.
The president suggesting his predecessor is to blame, saying suspect Mohammed Salman came into the U.S. under, quote, Biden's ridiculous open border policy, a claim echoed by spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt.
This terrorist was allowed into this country by the previous administration, was foolishly given a tourism visa, and then was illegally allowed to stay.
But the details surrounding Salman are not exactly clear. A top Homeland Security official writes Salman came into the U.S. in August 2022 with a visa, applied for asylum a month later, was given a work authorization when that visa expired, and had been here illegally since the authorization expired. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Trump's administration renewed its request for the Supreme Court to clear the way for plans to downsize the federal workforce. That's while a lawsuit filed by labor unions and cities continues. This is AP News. AP's Lisa Dwyer reports on a recent sabotage of a popular garden in Michigan.
Devotees are making the annual pilgrimage to the University of Michigan to see and smell one of the world's premier collections of peonies.
It's one of the largest peony gardens in North America.
Curator David Michener.
We get between 70 and 80,000 people.
But this year, a large swath of the flowering plants were sabotaged. Vandals cut off the blooms of roughly 250 peonies. visitor Linda Klinzar.
What would possess someone just to destroy nature and the beauty of it?
While no one has claimed responsibility, officials say papers were left behind, saying Palestinian lives deserve to be cared for more than these flowers. Visitors such as Melanie Miller says they will still enjoy visiting the garden.
They got chopped down, but it's okay. It's really pretty.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Sunrise paints the ocean gold. Coffee brews, stories unfold. Waves crash with the morning news. Island rhythm set the mood. Good morning, Marianas, rise and shine. Your boss won't wait for island time. Inside Penrota, teaming too. We've got sports, weather, and the news.
Good morning, Marianas! It is 7:40 in the morning. It is Tuesday, and my goodness, I am loving today. You know, it's a little bit of rain. That's not too bad compared to what we had when it was all dusty and nasty. This is probably just fine. I wouldn't sweat it at all. In fact, I'm sweating it less because it is a little bit rainy outside today. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is 7:41. Today is Tuesday, June 3rd, and we are ready to go. It's 81 degrees outside, which is going to be a beautiful day today. We're looking at a 40% chance of rain, but fun fact, it already rained, so you can call that 100 if you want to. But we're looking at maybe some more throughout the day. Partly sunny skies, high near 87. Winds out of the east, 15 miles per hour, gusts as high as 21. And it was blowing the van around this morning when I was making my way down to the studio. I imagine you're going to feel it out there too. We're looking at some more rain tonight, but it should be a little bit nicer than it was this morning. We're looking at mostly cloudy tonight. Low's going to go all the way down to 78, so break out your winter clothes. Wind's going to die down to about 15 miles per hour. And 30% chance of rain today. Tomorrow, is it going to rain? Survey says possibly. We're looking at a 30% chance of rain tomorrow as well, but the wind's not going to be as blustery as it is today. So not too bad. We got a nice couple of days going for us. Can't complain about it at all, but it's just great to see you guys. Oh my God, you're already attacking it in the comment section. I love it. Want to say good morning to you guys. Dennis Matsumoto, my brother. Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bruce Camacho, the man, the myth, the legend. He's from Tinian, but now he's over here kicking butt in Saipan. All right, Piling Gazetmo, all the way in Guam. Man, you know what? I could hear your chi-hoo from there. I know you're over there in Guam right now, but good to see you, my friend. And man, he's already saying, adios, casino commissioners. I know, kind of wild. Nelson Crum. Oh my God, the smooth hand of dental love over there in Gualarai. That's right. Good morning, Nelson. Good to see you this morning. Tobot Castro, great to see you, my friend. Man, actually, no, it's not, because I haven't actually seen you in way too long. I'm seeing a whole lot of you in the comments. I guess I'll take it if that's what I get. I mean, if that's all I got, I mean, what are you going to do? I can't complain about it. I'm glad I got you in there anyway. Luisa Cabrera, our number one source of all baseball news. Great to see you this morning. You are the MVP when it comes to the field. Hopefully, it'll be nice today. All the youth stuff is done. Those guys are off and getting ready to go, but that means it's going to clear the way for the Saipan Baseball League. That's right. The adults hitting the field should be resuming this week. I know there's going to be a break coming up for the mini games, but that's not right now, so that's not too bad. Anyway, great to see all you guys in here this morning. And, there's Ann over there on the YouTube side. Great to see you as well. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. Man, what a day yesterday. I had all these grandiose plans. My plans included something called lunch. No! Turns out I've fortunately eaten enough over the past few years where I could skip a meal and still survive. So there was so much news happening yesterday and so much stuff to catch up. And I got to tell you, we got a lot to talk about because, we got that stablecoin thing that's going on. We've got there's people on both sides of that. We've got the AG has sued to block that thing. Even they've already wrote a letter to say, hey, we don't agree with it. They're like, no, we're going to pass it anyway. And so now they are filing a case in court about that. And we're going to get to that in just a little bit. And then last night, we got a video from our Congressman Ed Probst, former Congressman Ed Probst. And, he is, let's just say, not happy with United Airlines. And fun fact, he's not alone. He is not alone in his lack of love for United Airlines. And I'm with him on this one for sure. He's like, hey, why are you guys charging us a ridiculous amount? We're going to listen to what he had to say in a little bit. I'm going to play it. His video from last night I thought was pretty good. And you could, he was on script for a while, and then you could see he's like, and it was interesting to watch it. It was kind of difficult. It was almost like you were seeing him read one of those prisoner letters, like where he's like, I was guilty of doing this. And no, he wasn't guilty of anything. But he was, because he was so scripted and so measured in the message that he was doing. Also, he said furthermore twice. Hey, I'm poking fun. But I'll tell you, it sounded like he was totally reading, and he was, and it was like a real well thought out message that he wants to put out about what's going on with United. But you can tell when he's like, yeah, you know what? Another thing. I'm like, oh, this is the Probst we love when he's out there talking. He's getting all fired up. He's he's ready. He was ready to go. Anyway, we're going to listen to that today. Eric Mofnas, good morning, my friend. My brother, great to see you out there. Another one of the veterans. This guy wakes up early, and I think he sets the tone for all the veterans in the CNMI. We're all part of this group called Project Buddy Check 670. If you're a veteran and you're not a part of it, you need to reach out. It costs you $0.00. And you can get in on this and get on these great group conversations with all the other vets around the island. And it is great. And we did have a question. Someone's like, is that just for the guys? No. If you're a vet, you're a vet. That's it. That's how it works. It doesn't matter. You don't have to declare, it's not guys only. Let's just put it that way. You are good to go. If you're a vet, you can be a part of it. Hey, Department of Public Lands is in the house. And boy, you guys, I would love to hear from you soon because I just saw your post yesterday that you guys have some exciting stuff going on over there in public lands land. Is that right? Does that sound good? In fact, it's about concessions, I believe, and RFPs and stuff like that. Here, let's actually look and see if we can't pull that up real quick, because I was interested in it when I saw it. Well, let's pull it up. It was an update where they were saying, hey, it's an important update on the Managaha Island Master Concession Operator, RFP. What's RFP? It's really effing plant. No, it's the request for proposal. The Department of Public Lands is actively moving forward. That's great. It says they were pleased to confirm our dedicated review panel is now in place and has accepted their roles. Reviews of the submitted RFPs will commence imminently. Ooh, big word. And we're targeting a decision announcement by month's end. We appreciate your patience. Hey, that's great. As long as it's not Marianas Global. As long as they're not big in there, back in there, that's great. Hey, Lou, I love it. She's like, hey, reason for purchase? No, but I do love that. Good to see you this morning. Really, it's great. John William, Lesser Mwai, great to see you, my friend. One hookug. Thank you for tuning back in. Great to see you again as well, man. I'll tell you this deal with Managaha. I look forward to seeing how all that works out. Remember, you can almost predict how some of these things are going to go based on some of the craziness of the requests, or if people start getting a little I don't know what the word is. I don't know. How is that possible, Brett? I know. I just don't know what the word. But if it's a little oba, let's put it that way. Because remember, Marianas Global, when were they going down? When all of a sudden they want to do this thing that was going to shut down a lot of local water sports operators in Saipan, folks that had nothing to do, not going to give them the ability to bring people back and forth to Managaha. It's like, are you kidding? If all of a sudden they get legal counsel and mass up together, these guys who just want to have a good life, hanging out at the beach, hanging out with tourists and all that stuff, if all of a sudden they're getting all political, you're probably on your way out of here. And fun fact, yes, that's what happened. So when you think about what your decisions are, what you're going to be doing in life, and where you want to be, and how effective your idea is going to be, think about that. If you all of a sudden, the sooner you throw up your hands and say, whoa, I screwed up, that's the best way to go. True story. You can read that and more adventures in the autobiography of the Marianas Global founders. It's there. Hey, we talked about it a little bit yesterday too. We posted it up on our Facebook page. The interview that was happening on a podcast called All Across America, and we've got Marco from All Across America reached out and said, "Hey, we just interviewed a guy from Saipan. You want to share? I think you might be interested." And so we did. We created a little graphic and put it together and popped it up on the page yesterday. So you can see it on our page. Yanni Burrell, he's a professor over there at NMC. You might have heard of it, the home of the PROA. Yeah, they're pretty good. Well, he's over there, and he gave this interview with this guy who's in the mainland who does all kinds of podcasts with folks all over. His name is Marco Vigliotti. And this was episode number 64 in his podcast. And so Yanni's the chair of the Languages and Humanities Department over there at NMC. And he spoke about all kinds of stuff, including, a little bit about the book that he's one of the editors of. It's called The Marianas Mosaic, Signs and Shifts in Contemporary Island Life. And they talked about island life and what it's like and how things have been here over the years. And I started getting back into history, and Yanni's like, hey, let me put it out there. I'm not a historian here, but he did give a little bit of context to about what life is like out here. And it was a great conversation. If you want to find out more about it, it's on our page. It's available for you. It's available for everybody, and it's available for free and wherever fine books are sold. But it is there. You can also give him some love, Marco, by checking out his podcast. I put the address on there. It's allacrossamerica.com. That's his website, and he's got the podcast on many platforms, but you can check it out right there. And that's a fancy little graphic that we made for it. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, it was pretty cool. So we're happy to do that. We talked about that yesterday, and we're talking about all these other things. Looking forward to doing some of that. By the way, it just happened because somebody messaged me. They're like, dude, nice timing. I know, but it was not planned to be this way. So I just got back, and Sunday was a pretty big rest day for me because I hit the ground running on Saturday, and I was doing it. Like, I was out doing family activities and everything. Came home, showered, knocked out, and then I did some catch-up work on Sunday, but it was really like rest stuff. And so I'm like, you don't want to be doing work today. So Monday, after the show, went out and started catching up on some press releases and writing some, reading these things, then writing them a little bit. And so I posted this story that came while I was traveling from the Congresswoman's office about the Tinian stablecoin and her Congresswoman King Hines letters to the folks from the Tinian delegation saying great job and all that other stuff. And I swear, like right after I pressed post, I get this notification that the Attorney General sues to block the Tinian stablecoin law. It's like right, just bam, just like that. Like in the same, like after I pressed post. Anyhow, perfect timing, funny stuff. So, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit too. That is something that we're going to talk about today because, like, what do you think about it? There's some specifics I want to get into about it for sure. But the stuff that I love is I'm always a big fan of, it's not just the message, it's the messenger. Like, you got to know about who's delivering that message and, you know, what their interest might be and what their background is and all that other stuff. And because you get to know a little bit more about their motivation. Like, is it somebody who's just doing it so they can make some money? Is it someone who's doing it because they think that it's a good thing for everybody? Is it someone who wants both? You know, I don't know. But I'm always interested in who's pushing what, wherever the message come from. Like, if somebody says like anything about anything, like you want to know what someone maybe like especially if there's some opinion in there, like what's influencing their opinion. You know, is it somebody, are they paid? Or is it, you know, I don't know. I just like to learn more about people. As Dan Shore described me in front of the class, one of the classes at MHS, when we were discussing different ways to digest the news. He said, you know, he's very inquisitive. He's very curious. He wants to find out all this stuff. Where I've already got my opinions. I'm like, all right, that's good. That's good. So, but yeah, I want to know more about it. I don't make a snap decision on this. I don't form an opinion that's hard and fast just because it's my first go at it. I want to know more about it. And oftentimes, you know, I'm going to change whatever that, but I mean, of course I have a first opinion about it. Something's going to form pretty quick. And then it's just a matter of, was I right on that, or did I need to change that up? And so this one's really interesting to me, but I'll tell you, there's an interesting cast of characters involved with this. That's why there's so many different things that got my spidey senses going about this, because it just doesn't, some of it just doesn't seem right, and a lot of it's just because I don't know a whole lot about it, admittedly, right? But like, it just seems sketchy. I think that's the easiest way to say it. I think a lot of it to me seems sketchy, and until I hear more about it, you know, that's where I'm at right now, until I learn more about it. But the good news is that there's a couple of folks who are going to be at the Saipan Chamber of Commerce General Membership meeting tomorrow, who are going to be talking about it. Senator Carl King Neighbors from Tinian, he is going to be one of the presenters at the, hold on, let me put it up, at the general membership meeting. And we're also going to have from Marianas Rye Corp, the company that just got sued by the Attorney General's office, Vin Armani. And, you know, that's one of the things about, like, when you change your name, that's always a red flag for me, whether it's fair or not. You just got to take it that's how I feel about it, right? It's a red flag that goes up to me when people change their name. No, not married people. You guys are okay. That doesn't, like my wife, I do not have a red flag because she, maybe I do. Maybe it's her judgment in dudes. No, but I definitely have a thought about that. In fact, here, let's put this up. This is the, I could put this up actually right here. Right on this main screen that you guys are looking at right now. Here, pop this up. We'll just call it the chamber. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so that's my thing about that. I definitely have thoughts about it. And one of the guys who's a part of this thing is, you know, someone who changed his name like multiple times. And it just sounds like, you know, just to be fair, the nicest way to say it is that it's just not for me, right? Not my style. And I think that's the fairest way to say it. Not my style, not for me. But it's enough to where it brought up like some, you know, like that spidey sense, like something doesn't necessarily feel right about it. Here we go. Here, I guess, minimize it a little bit more because I'm going to have to be forced. Okay, there we go. That's what's going on tomorrow. Yeah, Wednesday. My gosh, it's going by so fast. It's going to be over at the Pacific Islands Club, and it's going to be there at 11:30 to 1 o'clock. You can go and check that out. It is June 4th, Wednesday, 11:30 at Charlie's Cabaret over there at PIC, Pacific Islands Club. And that's a nice, intimate little setting. I mean, there's going to be plenty of room over there, but yeah, it's pretty small. It's pretty tight compared to like the big halls and all that stuff. But this will be our first opportunity to get a real big first-hand explanation from these guys, at least at the chamber. I know they had a big presentation over at the American Memorial Park, so it's not like they haven't been out there and doing that part of it. But hearing directly from one of our elected officials and this guy who may or may not have been part of P. Diddy's sex parties. We don't know. We don't have that confirmed yet. But we know if times get rough, we know where we can turn for some baby oil. Cheap. Yeah, I know. Like a bird. So anyway, what else is going on? We're going to have some committee updates tomorrow. Also, the presentation from CETA, the executive director, Derek Sasimoto, is going to be there because he was there in Washington, D.C., also as part of that Select USA Summit, which was great. So I'm looking forward to hearing directly from them about their trip and about that. Tobot says, I threw all the baby oil away. Why, you're not getting invites anymore? What? What's going on? Mariano, good to see you this morning. Thanks for tuning in. Gloria, thank you. It's great to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Gloria says, that's why I trust your presentation and report, Brad, because you're inquisitive and you find out about things before reporting it out to us. Thanks so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Ignacio de la Cruz over there in the YouTube side. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Great to see you today as well. Oh, man. I'll tell you, it is great to be back. I'm happy to be here. And I felt like I missed so much because so much happened when I was gone. You know, so much happened when I was gone. And I felt like I was missing out. Like I knew I had to be here, or I need to be there in New York during all that time. But, you know, I just, like item after item, thing after thing just kept happening. And in the CNMI, I'm like, I can't believe I'm missing all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden just hit me in the face, you know, like, what are you worried about? You're doing the right thing. You're at home. You're with your parents, and this is the good thing. So anyway, I became okay with it pretty quick. Anyway, Joshua Brazel, man, I'll tell you what, dude, great stuff. Thanks so much for sending all your stuff over. This guy is a real artist. Great to see you this morning, and thanks so much for being here again. Really appreciate it. Oh, you know what? Did I don't think I popped that in there yet. No, I didn't. I think I just shared your post. That's what it was. All right. Well, we're going to put that up there today if you guys haven't seen it before. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I do see it. Hold on. Wait. I'm going to do this now before we get carried away with other stuff. All right. Yeah, you could drag and drop and all that other stuff. Man, it's 8:02 this morning. We're going to have some updates. The next news update is actually ready already. Can you believe it? I know. I think I put that under community, by the way. Let me just do this first before we get carried away. It is under community. We're going to slop that in there. All right. Okay. Follow Joshua Brazel for Out of This World Photography. How about that? There you go. Now it's a post. It's right there. Boom. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Josh, you're there. You're good to go. And thanks again for sending all that stuff. And please continue to send stuff our way, man. I tell you are a talented dude. And it's great that we got you here in the CNMI. And I'm really thankful that you send stuff our way so we could post that just so we can help promote all the good stuff that you're doing. Really, it is great stuff. I absolutely love it. Do I still have it on this one from yesterday? Oh, I do. I think I do. Boom. If you're wondering, that's it right there. Tinny and Astrodad. That's what we just posted on our NMI News Service Facebook page. If you guys follow him on Instagram, you'll be loving it because he posts some great stuff. He does all this great photography of the stars. He got some great stuff with tourists and the Milky Way, and he does stuff all over. And he partners up with some folks that
like to do this, and they put on free events at different places in Saipan. And so if you want to be a part of that and go and get all the info about when they're doing it, go ahead and follow him. It's a smart move. Plus, by the way, he's a great guy. He's somebody you're actually going to really like and be glad that you got to know. So just meet someone else in our community and who also just happens to be a pretty talented artist with the old camera and the telescopes. And man, we had you on the show. We talked to you before. We need to have you on again. And I think now we're getting a little fancier, so we could do some more of the showcase some more of your stuff. So figure out what time works for you and what day works for you, and we'll make that happen. We will definitely make that happen. All right, man, Tinian stablecoin. I mean, let's. I want to get to that, and but we're up against it at 8 o'clock. It's 8:04 actually. We're a little bit late, but between that and the governor bringing the axe to the casino commission, maybe we should just do that first. Gosh, how do you do it? How do you choose? Because it's such a big deal. I mean, we already started talking about the stablecoin, but the casino commission, that just happened. Those two big things that happened yesterday, two massive things, I think. The Attorney General suing to block the stablecoin, but then the governor just taking an axe and saying, hey, casino commissioners, guess what? Bam, you're gone. And it wasn't friendly. And he did that through an executive order. All right, let's do this. We are 100% gonna talk about that. But before we do, we're gonna get you the latest news from the Associated Press and give some love to our sponsors. By the way, I don't know where you guys go to get your choppers taken care of, and I'm not talking about your motorcycle. I am talking though about your teeth, and the folks over at Paradise Dental Spa over in Guadalajara have been taking care of us for such a long time. They're big believers in the show. If you love the show and if you support the free press that we've got going on over here, then at the very least consider walking in there and seeing what it looks like. I'll tell you what, they're so nice. The people are great. I think once you go there the first time, you're not going to want to change. Well, they've got a big promo right now for smile transformations. They have some, just as talented as Joshua is when it comes to photography. They've got folks who are amazing at creating custom dentures and partials to make sure that you have excellent oral health. And that is the key to happiness in life. You can have a brand new smile and a big boost to your confidence. You got to check them out. Give them a call, 234-4040 to book your free consultation, or you can go to paradisedentalspa.com and get some more information about all the stuff that they have going on over there. Well, let's find out more about what they've got going on in the world of news. Now that we're here, we can reach out to the folks with the Associated Press and hear what's happening in the world.
4 more victims have been identified in the Boulder attack, bringing the total injured to 12. AP correspondent Julie Walker reports on more details on the attack yesterday.
Witness Alex Osante was across the street.
One of them he threw inside of a group. At the group, and one lady lit on fire from head to toe.
At a news conference covered by Denver 7, FBI agent Mark McCallick ID'd the suspect as Mohammed Sabri Solomon.
It is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
Officials believe Solomon acted alone. This latest attack comes barely a week after a man also yelling Free Palestine was charged with fatally shooting 2 Israeli embassy staffers outside a Jewish museum in Washington. I'm Julie Walker.
During a news conference, acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says ICE agents wear masks because they've been threatened.
People are out there taking photos of the names, their faces, and posting them online with death threats to their family and themselves. So I'm sorry if people are offended by them wearing masks, but I'm not going to let my officers and agents go out there and put their lives on the line and their family on the line because people don't like what immigration enforcement is.
There's new medical guidance for travelers.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says all international travelers should get measles shots. Previously, the CDC emphasized the importance of vaccination for travelers going to countries with measles outbreaks. The new recommendation is to get the shot no matter where they're going. One expert points out an outbreak in Colorado last month stemmed from an international flight that landed in Denver. The travel notice advises 2 doses for all Americans ages 1 and older. An early dose is advised for traveling infants ages 6 months to 11 months. There have been more than 1,000 measles cases in the U.S. I'm Ed Donahue.
This is AP News.
I'm Seth Sutal, and this is the AP Markets Report. Stocks shook off an early slide on Wall Street and drifted back closer to their records. The S&P 500 rose 0.4% Monday. The index is coming off its biggest monthly gain in over a year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average edged up 35 points. It's about 0.1%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.7%. Stocks had been down almost 1% early in the day, following some discouraging updates on manufacturing. The market rallied back as the day progressed. Gains for a handful of big tech stocks, including Facebook parent Meta, helped offset weakness elsewhere in the market. Treasury yields rose slightly. Seth Sutel, New York.
Till Sawala, who studies galaxy formation, says new observations show that a long-held forecast with our galaxy headed on a collision course with one nearby may not be true.
We find that there's only about a 50-50 chance that the Milky Way will collide with Andromeda in the next 10 billion years.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
Hi, I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical-grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician, who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
Pharmacy for all your prescription
great to be back with you this morning. It is Tuesday. It's 8:13 in the morning. Now you're all caught up with news and weather over here. Not just our local news either. You're caught up with the Associated Press, getting you stuff from all around the world because stuff happens, not just here. And man, I'll tell you what, though, the stuff that's happening here was pretty interesting yesterday. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, all the way through, yesterday was a busy day with a lot of stuff happening. So let's start getting to some of that stuff. I definitely want to get into some of it. So let's look at, the stablecoin stuff. So let's start talking about that a little bit. Sound like a deal? All right, so let's do it. We're going to get into the Marianas stablecoin stuff. So the first thing is we know that happened, right? All of a sudden, there was something that was proposed by the Senate. Senate said, okay, and it passed. Then it went through the House. Then it went to the governor, and the governor said no. And he said no because the AG said no. So he's like, okay, that's pretty easy. And then the Senate and the House overrode that veto. So all of a sudden, there's going to be a little currency going on over there in TIQ. Now, what's interesting about that is that it was Tinian stablecoin, but they were renaming it the Marianas US dollar. Now, that's kind of a big deal because it's saying that it's covering all of the Marianas when it's just a Tinian thing, right? So they did it through Tinian and pushed it through, but now it's going to be the whole thing. So what's going on? There's so many things that are interesting about it. So the Attorney General said no, first of all. He basically just said, I don't agree with this. They filed this lawsuit. And in fact, I could pop that up on the screen for you too. While we're talking about this, you guys can see it. Let me go and under documents so you guys can see it while we're at it because it's a 10-page. Oh my God, no, get out of here. Jeez. Oh my gosh. I sometimes just, can I undo this? Would that work? My gosh. Sometimes you just screw things up. There we go. Thank gosh. There we go. Recovered it. Oh, good times, man. Good times. Hey, I'm not perfect. I can tell you that. What, Brad? We knew that already? You bastards. All right. Here, let's pull this up on the main screen so you guys can see it. And let's go to the share. And let's pop me on there too, because, what's life if you can't see my face, right? No jokes, no jokes. All right, so here we go. This is it. You are looking at the actual complaint that was filed by the Attorney General's office. And we will blow this up so you can see it a little bit bigger. All right, so that's it. It's a complaint for a temporary and permanent injunction. So basically, they want to say, first, just stop. And we want you to stop long term, but while we figure this stuff out, we want you to stop for at least right now. And so that's it. And so this was filed on Friday, but it only got accepted yesterday, and that's why we got it yesterday. So they're going against Tinian Casino Gaming Control Commission, right? So that's one. And then their treasurer and the Marianas Rye Court. All right, and it's not rye like the bread. Don't get excited. Although, Marianas Rye, if it was like rye bread, I think I'd be more excited about it than what it is. So anyway, basically they're doing this. Ed Manabusin, the Attorney General, Chief Solicitor, Robert Glass, Jr. I didn't know he was a junior, but apparently he is. They're going at this to say, hey, look, we know that you guys have jurisdiction over this, so we're going to bring it to you. And here's why we think the courts are proper for this to go around it. They said it's because everybody's a member of the Commonwealth. So there you go. Now, they're talking about who are the parties to this thing. They really spell all this stuff out. So here's the meat of it. So it says they're looking for declaratory and injunctive relief to declare unconstitutional and prevent the enforcement of Tinian Local Law 24-03, which authorizes internet gaming and the issuance of a digital currency known as the Tinian stable token, on the grounds that it violates the constitutions and laws of the CNMI and the Constitution of the United States of America. And they even talk about the law. It says specifically the law exceeds the legislative authority of Tinian and Aguiguan legislative delegation,
by purporting to regulate activities beyond the geographical scope of the second senatorial district. So basically beyond Tinian, right? Yes, that's right. Juan, Rai means king. That's right. Ken Stewart, good morning. And Fabian, great to see you this morning too. All right, let's get back to it. And then they talk about why that it says, why the NMI's Constitution says that Tinian can't do this. It says, hey, laws that relate exclusively to local matters within one senatorial district may be enacted by the legislature or by the affirmative vote of a majority of the members representing that district, meaning just Tinian. The legislature shall define the local matters that may be the subject of laws enacted by the members from the respective senatorial districts, laws enacted through initiative by the voters of a senatorial district under Article 9, Section 1, regulations promulgated by a mayor under that, and blah, 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 blah. Basically, Tinian can deal with Tinian stuff. But I think what they're saying is that this is bigger than that. It exceeds that. So, and that's exactly what this next part says. It says local bill means a bill that, if enacted, becomes a law pertaining exclusively to matters within one senatorial district. And I think that's where the court is going to rule in favor of the AG on this one. It says the law provides for internet-only gaming licenses that would allow for gaming activities to occur beyond the borders of Tinian. It specifically authorizes gaming activities occurring within intra-island borders of the second senatorial district and between jurisdictions where the conduct of interest gaming is not prohibited by law. Although Tinian Local Law 20-05 authorized the operation of internet gaming, such operation was previously conditioned on the operation of a hotel in Tinian with 200 units, like 200 hotel rooms. The law removes that condition, which as such, it does not restrict the issuance of an internet gaming license to a physical location within the district. It said the law is unconstitutionally vague because it does not provide clear guidance regarding the conduct that is required or prohibited. For example, gaming is defined as the playing in a casino of any game. And casino is defined as those areas of a hotel casino complex identified in a casino license as the areas constituting the casino in a particular case. However, the law allows for internet gaming to occur outside of a physical casino. See, this is where it's going to get interesting. This is where it's a constitutional conundrum. All right, so this is, again, it says the law violates the covenant and the United States Constitution because it creates a currency and coins money and involves the municipality in the issuance or guarantee of virtual currency in the Tinian stable token. I keep calling it stable coin and then tripping over that. United States Constitution prohibits the exercise of certain powers relating to money, including coin money and emit bills of credit. And then they go out and they talk about the parts of the covenant that says, hey, we got to go by federal law. And that talks about what passed through the Senate for this. Talks about the veto from the governor. Talks about the override of that veto. And then it says the law, as it was written, authorizes the internet gaming operations and the creation of digital currency to be issued by the Tinian municipal treasurer. And these are some of the foundational things that they're going to try to say why this stuff is not supposed to work. It says the law explicitly contemplates the use of the internet and blockchain technology to facilitate gaming and financial transactions that are not confined to Tinian. While the law only provided for the creation of the Tinian stable token, the actual token was named the Marianas USD token. The name change supports that the local law is governing issues beyond Tinian by labeling the coin as representative of the entire Marianas. The Attorney General, in an official memorandum dated, he basically said that he doesn't think it's not legally sufficient and said that there are defects, citing constitutional and statutory defects. So the law fails to restrict the operation, again, just to Tinian. We're skipping through it kind of quick. And it It attempts to regulate beyond the borders of even the Commonwealth, not just Tinian, but beyond the borders of the CNMI. The law also allows the purchase of coins from anywhere in the world, thus reaching beyond the boundaries of Tinian. So here's what the Attorney General's saying. We don't want any of it. He said, hey, look, we want a declaratory judgment that this law is unconstitutional under the CNMI. And again, same thing. Essentially, they're worried that we're going to lose a buttload of money from that the coffers are going to get raided once, like a pump and dump scheme, if you will, where people are going to buy a whole bunch of these coins and don't ask me for the specifics because I can't tell you all about it because I'm not smart enough to know all about that. I like that. All right. So it says law authorizes activities, the internet gaming and issuance of digital coins that inherently extend beyond the borders of Tinian, both technically and economically. The internet gaming will occur outside of the borders of Tinian. The digital coins that are issued will be received outside of Tinian and may be redeemed by people outside of Tinian. The flow of the U.S. dollars will occur outside of Tinian. And the use of the internet will ensure parts of the streams of transactions, codes, and gaming will occur beyond the borders of Tinian. Likewise, the flow of digital currency, the United States dollars, and other forms of mediums of exchange will occur outside of Tinian. Further, the law coins money in that digital assets called coins or tokens, known as the Tinian stable token, are used as currency to pay for online gambling activities that are exchanged for payments. After the passage of the law, the Tinian stable token was almost immediately rebranded as the Marianas US dollar, which also shows the intent of the law, and the Tinian stable token is to reach beyond the borders of Tinian. As such, the law exceeds the lawful authority of the delegation, and it violates the Commonwealth Constitution on its face as applied. All right, so that's one. So what do they want? They're looking for a declaratory judgment saying that it's unconstitutional under the U.S. Constitution. Again, they talk about the same thing. Let's skip to the other one. Here's what they're looking for. Injunctive relief. Plaintiff alleges all the other stuff. Enforcement of the law will cause irreparable harm to the CNMI and to the legal integrity of the Commonwealth-wide legislative authority by allowing an unconstitutional delegation of power. The law allows the establishment of a banking business without a license. Said the defendant, Marianas Rye Corp., was awarded a sole source contract to establish and run the protocols for Tinian stablecoin, which it rebranded the Marianas USD crypto coin. Defendant Marianas Rye Corp. is engaging in the business of creating the Marianas US dollar, which is the rebranded Tinian stable token, which is a means of engaging for profit in the activity of creating, purchasing, and selling and holding of securities, coin, currency, and generally dealing in finance. He said, on information and belief, Marianas Rye Corporation does not have a banking license. And it says Marianas Rye Corp's incorporating documents specifically state that nothing herein shall be construed to give this corporation banking powers. That's interesting. It said the Tinian stable token, or the Marianas US dollar, is created by Marianas Rye Corp, but is held by the Tinian treasurer in the Tinian stable token reserve account. The two entities must work closely and are intertwined. The actions of Marianas Rye Corp in executing the law by the creation of the Marianas US dollar and Tinian stable token exceeds the bounds of Tinian. It talks about that they go beyond the borders of Tinian, allowing the continued operation of a business which is engaging in unconstitutional actions in concurrence with Marianas Rye Corp and the municipality of Tinian should be enjoined by granting injunctive relief. And they're saying, hey, we need some help. So they're asking for it to be declared unconstitutional and void, not letting them go forward with any of the provisions in the law, And they also want to get paid for their legal fees. And that's it. So that's the deal. What do you think about it? I mean, I have some thoughts about it. I mean, when I read about it, I always go, I err on the side of the Attorney General's office because they're not out to make any money on any of this, right? So their whole motivation for the Attorney General's office is not because they're some rival company. And they're not out there trying to make money off of this. They're just trying to enforce the law. In fact, that's what the Attorney General's office does. They are the advocates for the law. Like, the public defender, they are advocates for their clients, meaning like the folks who they represent. But the Attorney General's office isn't an advocate necessarily for like for the victim in a crime. They're the advocate for the law itself, right? Making sure that the alleged perpetrators are held accountable under the laws of the Commonwealth. And so that's what they're doing here. And so I always kind of lean their way initially, at least, until I have a good feel for it. Does that mean I'm like that for all the bad guys or the alleged bad guys who are going to court? I don't know. I mean, I'd listen. I got to hear all that stuff. And you can't just assume, I don't assume guilt in any of those cases. It's one of the main reasons why I don't report on the names of people who are accused in a lot of these cases, because I don't think that somebody should be dragged through the mud because of that. Like that thing that's going on with the court right now with the former corrections officer. Same thing. Like, now, if they get convicted, yeah, there you go. And if the trial is happening, well, yeah, there you go. Then I'm in. And when there's civil cases, I rarely talk about them, because if you're not going to go after them criminally because the standard's too high, then you automatically lose credibility with me if you're just doing it in the civil court. So that's where I find my balance a little bit. Is that perfect? No, but that's just where I'm at. Bobby, good morning. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Great to see you. Yeah, and you're right. Rye does mean king. And so, I was following these guys, and, the thing is that, let's see if we can find this through commerce. Marianas Rye Corp. Yeah, but I want to find the documents through the Department of Commerce. Because there's all these other stories about them right now because this whole stablecoin thing, because they're all looped in, because all these other folks who do these virtual coins and all that stuff, if they see this thing go through and work here, then they're going to try to use that probably with whatever jurisdiction that they're in. Not labor. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this. I'm going to have to reach out, I think, to Department of Commerce. Hold on. CNMI Commerce. Be helpful if I spelled it correctly. Boom. Yeah, that's the big thing. If I could find their things, because that's where you actually get, it should have everybody's numbers and names and their documents, and we could get all that stuff too. And that's probably what we're going to end up doing for this. We'll probably do this today in between meetings and all that stuff. But when people I think I talked about that enough. I don't get back to that. But I mean, that's what I want to do, is talk about who these people really are, when they're doing all this stuff. They have real names that are their official names for all these things. And when they change them just for the purposes of wanting to have a new identity, that's it, So if you live here, you are who you are, and that's it. I don't want people to get snowed by these guys. And maybe they won't. Maybe they're on the up and up, and maybe they're all great. But maybe I don't know. I don't. It might not necessarily be fair, but their whole website, there's nothing to it. So there's really nothing. I'm looking at it right now, by the way. That's it. Marianas Rye Corp, technology solutions company based in the Commonwealth of Northern Marianas. Our mission is to provide governments and institutions with software and services to build, grow, and maintain vibrant digital economies. The elite team unites industries and cultures and brings over 150 years of experience in technology, innovation, blockchain, regulatory enforcement, and entrepreneurship. But if you want to find out more about them, good luck, because that's their website. There's a little pin there. They tell you a little bit about the NMI and what the rhinestones are. And that's it. It's a company that was formed last year that's going to be managing a coin or currency here in the Marianas. I don't know. So those are my thoughts about it. Those are my first blush thoughts. You know, I look forward to hearing what they have to say tomorrow at the Saipan Chamber of Commerce. And because I'm interested in learning about all this stuff too, as I would imagine you are. So it's a good reason to go down to PIC tomorrow and grab some chow and listen to what they have to say. And you know what? You can have some lunch over there and grab beer, because that's some of the stuff that they have over there at PIC for their brunch or their lunchtime stuff. So yeah, go down and have beer with lunch and listen to what these guys have to say about all this stuff. I mean, it should be interesting. All right, so that's one of the big issues. What else was interesting that happened yesterday? Well, all of a sudden, we found out that the governor's like, I have had enough of you lottery commissioners. What? Says maybe we can get more auditors and lawyers to help correct and fix it up. Maybe. I'm telling you, I don't know. Like, if it makes sense, I'm all for it. If it makes sense, if it's a good thing for us, how do you not? Like, you got to support stuff if it's definitely going to be good. I'm just not convinced yet. That's it. So that's not me telling you it's bad, don't do it. No, you make up your own decision, right? I give you my own little take on it, and I love to have it back and forth and love to hear more about it. Like I said, I am open to hear more and learn more about all this stuff. And that's not like I have an open door policy. No. Like, I literally am actively wanting to know more about it. And I'm just sharing where I'm at right now. So, and that's it. So there you go on that one. But that's it. 100%. All right. So I'm trying to think of what movie quote that was from. I have had enough of you. Poof. Like, that is where the governor was yesterday when this came out from the Casino Commission. So governor signed an executive order transferring all of the regulatory authority over the casino gaming from the Commonwealth Casino Commission to the Commonwealth Lottery Commission. Do you remember that? That's like so 80s, right? No. Okay, so it goes back to the whole time when I think it was 2014 when they were trying to award the initial casino license, right? The initial exclusive casino license. They had that lottery commission, had folks from all these different agencies together to pick who they thought when they go about those bids and all that other stuff. Well, basically, the gov said, through executive order, I'm changing things. Enough's enough. Yeah, that was it. And he's like, I'm taking all the power away from the Commonwealth Casino Commission and putting it in the hands of the Lottery Commission. He's like, hey, you guys haven't done anything. And there's no casino. He's like, you guys haven't done anything for 5 years. Yeah, you had your little meetings. They were adorable, but you didn't do anything. You sat in meetings. You accrued debt to the Commonwealth. Well, that part has remained to be seen. But he definitely... the commission has accrued debt to the commission because they haven't been able to pay for their rent. They haven't been able to pay for their utilities. They haven't been able to pay for their furniture. They haven't been able to pay for a staff. They haven't been able to pay for email. They haven't been able to pay for a website. They haven't been able to pay for printing the notices that they hang up at the governor's office. No, they haven't had that. So the governor said, nope, you're done. He said their move to formalize this eliminates the commission's remaining oversight duties, terminates the terms of the commissioners, who, according to the order, no longer owe duties under the Commonwealth Constitution. I know. The order states that the casino operations have been inactive since the spring of 2020, yet the Casino Commission has continued to incur operational expenses. With no active license and no foreseeable return of operations, the governor says the continued funding of the agency is no longer justifiable. Here's his quote: trying economic times necessitate consolidation of duplicative government instrumentalities. And that's it. He said, hey, we got limited fiscal resources and they need to be focused on essential public services. And, you know, a couple of years ago, casino commissioners said, hey, we're not government agencies, so we don't have to be pulled under the austerity measures. So here's what that order does. It transfers the statutory oversight of the casino gaming to the Lottery Commission. It gives the Lottery Commission enforcement power over the casino license agreement, including authority to negotiate financial settlements related to the inactive license. Settlements, not sediments. You know, it's not like dirt being piled at the bottom of a river. It also terminates the Casino Commission's board members for cause, citing the loss of constitutional duties. He said it also maintains existing regulations, except that all references to the Casino Commissions now refer to the Lottery Commission. He also sets a 60-day legislative review window as required by the Constitution before that order takes effect unless modified or rejected by both houses. Lottery Commission, so you know what that tells me? Those guys are going to start lobbying hard now. I mean, that's it. They're going to be lobbying hard. Hey, you got to keep us. We're the only ones. We're the only ones who've been doing it. I don't know. Think that's going to pass the House and Senate? I don't think so. I think it could get through the Senate. I don't think it gets through the House. My guess. It says Lottery Commission originally established under Public Law 3-30 to oversee the public lottery operations will now take on expanded duties. The shift in responsibilities comes amid growing scrutiny of dormant agencies and calls for fiscal discipline. The executive order is effective 60 days after submission to the legislature unless rejected or amended by a majority vote in both chambers. And majority vote is interesting because that's just like 50% plus one, not 2/3. So that's a big deal. We actually had that. We posted that. Here, let's see. Do we have this here? No, we have this under the Govs because it wasn't under the GOP. Or sorry, the USD. Where are we at? Englewood. This is it. Kapow. Right? Yep, that's it. We go to share. In case you want to see it. Will that work? Yeah. And that's it right there. That was the executive orders that transfers the authority. He's like, hey, whereas this, whereas that, whereas this, all the way through. Now, by the virtue of the power vested in me and the Constitution and laws, I hereby, bam, the duties and responsibilities of the Commonwealth Casino Commission to supervise the gaming in the Commonwealth under that are hereby transferred to the Commonwealth Lottery Commission. And to the greatest extent possible under applicable law, authority for enforcement of the existing casino license agreement between the CNMI and the licensee shall be moved to the other guys, right? And the other guys being the Lottery Commission. I was surprised and like pleasantly surprised. Like it was great. Like it was like, wow. Juan says we've got much more duplicates of agencies in the government. Yeah, totally. We absolutely do. And, but I think that this is like the start. I mean, how many people were saying, I heard a lot of people say it, we need Doge in the CNMI. Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's really it. This is kind of it right now. Like I saw in the comments on that post, like Joel Omar, he's like, why now? You could have done it as soon as you took office. I'm like, dude, when I saw that, like, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe. I think he had a lot of other stuff to deal with too. But the other part is that, when's the best time to plant a tree? Like 20 years ago, right? When's the second best time? Today. So I think that's what you file that under. Man, I know, right? We are flying through it. All right, so I do want to get down to this other thing because I saw this last night. It's about 8 minutes. Yeah, I know. Do we got to watch the whole 8 minutes? I mean, I think it's worth it, and I hope you guys do too. The whole 8 minutes is basically the video from last night where you see our former U.S. Congressman, our former CNMI Congressman, Ed Probst, who was talking about United Airlines. And United Airlines has a particular grip on the Commonwealth. In fact, it changed us from pink to purple because it is an ever strengthening grip. Like now, how much do you think it is to fly to Guam? Last night, he was looking at the flights to go to Guam to watch his kid play soccer. Over $700 for a round trip to Guam. Over $700 for a round trip ticket to Guam on United. And as he pointed out, last year they had record-breaking profits. It's not like they're raising it because they're hurting. No. I think when I got out here, round trip to Guam was like $125. Over $700 now. That is unreasonable. Now, what is the right price? What should the round trip ticket to Guam be? I don't know. I don't know what's fair. But over $700 does not seem fair to me for a round trip ticket to Guam. Not for a 30-minute flight. Not for 120 miles. I flew from Washington to Buffalo. Round trip. I'm in the air for over an hour. Like $250. Round trip. So I think there is a word or a phrase. Yeah, there is a phrase. I think it's Latin when they come to describing the rate that United is charging between the CNMI and Guam. The Latin phrase, I think it's bullshit. I think that's what it is. I mean, like, it absolutely is. It's indefensible. It's indefensible. They can't say anything about it and still pretend to be a friend of the Marianas. United Airlines is not a friend of the Mariana Islands. Not Guam, not Rota, not Tinian, not Saipan, not any of the other ones. United Airlines is not a friend to the Mariana Islands. Talking to you, United. I'm talking to you. You are not our friend. And we need to push frickin' hard to get that cabotage exemption in here. We need to have our lobbyists lobby their balls off to make sure that folks like Jeju can fly in between our islands, like as they're flying, because they fly to Guam and they fly to the CNMI. Let's give them our business and let's let them go through so you can catch a ride to Guam as they fly through or catch a ride back on their way back. That is the way for us to go. Make us Jeju South. I mean, like, let's give them whatever they want in our airport and let's take care of them because it's our sweet spot market anyway. Let them be our flagship carrier. But they're an LCC. Yeah, fine. They're an LCC, but let them be our LCC. That's right. Let them set up. Give them all kinds of discounts. I'm telling you, give them whatever they need as far as like breaks and all that other stuff to help our economy out here and help our folks not suffer out here. Now, we'll end up having to go through some hairy times with them too. We're gonna have to figure some stuff out that they're not used to, like the medical referral process and all that other stuff. We'll figure all that stuff out with them. But put a little heat on United. Well, you don't want to hurt a U.S. carrier. Those guys, they absolutely are not doing us any favors at all. They're not. They're not, man. I mean, you got Max Air and you've got Star Marianas. Max just got a great QC deal, so that's great. What do we do? Let's hook somebody up with a big ass plane so that one of those guys, if not both of those guys, can both give United a friggin' run for their money And if they're smaller planes, big deal, but probably bigger than what they've got right now, right? Bigger, something bigger than a 10 passenger, including the pilot, plane to go between here and Guam, something that makes it better. And maybe it's that crappy Cape Air thing. We don't want Cape Air, but maybe there is a plane that makes sense to go between the CNMI and Guam and to move more passengers, right? I mean, like, why does it cost less for people from Guam to fly to the Philippines than it costs for them to go to Guam or to go to the CNMI? Why does it cost less for a Guam resident to fly to Philippines? Why does it cost less for a Guam resident to fly to Korea? Why does it cost less for a Guam resident to fly to Thailand, to Japan, to anywhere in this region, round trip? It is cheaper for them to go from Guam than it is for them to come 120 miles north to the CNMI. Well, that's what Ed Probst had to say about last night.
Frustration and growing concern regarding the astronomical airfare costs for flights between Guam and Saipan. As of this month, United Airlines is charging upwards of $767 for a round-trip ticket between these islands, a 25-minute flight covering just over 120 miles. This is not only unconscionable, it is an economically damaging, socially disruptive, and morally indefensible. United Airlines holds a monopoly on the Guam-Saipan route. Now, with no competition, they are exploiting a captive island population. While the airline posts record-breaking profits, the people of the Marianas are being priced out of basic inter-island travel. To make this injustice clear, please consider this comparison. Hawaiian inter-island flights from Honolulu to Maui and Kona and so forth averages between $39 to $69 one way. Now, in comparison, Guam to Saipan, which is a similar or shorter distance, is about $383 one way on the average. Now, this disparity is not due to fuel costs, it's not due to distance or landing fees. It is the direct result of unchecked, monopolistic behavior. Furthermore, any suggestion that lowering landing fees will reduce airfare is both misleading and inaccurate. Landing fees represent a tiny fraction of total costs. And even if eliminated, United would still charge inflated rates because there is no alternative. Lack of competition means no incentive to offer fair pricing. Now let's talk about United Airlines' record-breaking profits. In 2024, United Airlines achieved a record pre-tax profit of $4.2 billion with adjusted pre-tax earnings of $4.6 billion and an adjusted pre-tax margin of 8.1%. The company's full-year diluted earnings per share reached $9.45 with adjusted diluted earnings per share of $10.61, surpassing expectations. Now, what does this all mean? These substantial profits were bolstered by increased revenues across various segments, including a 20% year-over-year increase in basic economy revenue. The Micronesia region, including the Guam-Saipan route, has historically been a significant contributor to United's financial success. The island hopper route, inherited from continental Micronesia, was a major contributor to the financial success of Continental Airlines Micronesia unit in 1995 and accounted for 30% of Continental Micronesia's business in 2008. Now, how does this have an impact on our communities? The impact of this price gouging is severe. Families are unable to afford travel between the islands. Tourism between Guam and the CNMI is rapidly declining because of the outrageous airfares. Businesses, students, and medical patients are being priced out. Our regional economy is suffering due to a basic lack of accessibility. Now, what am I calling for and why am I talking about this? Because I am one of many who are calling for immediate action. We expect from our leaders an investigation by the United States Department of Transportation and the FTC into United Airlines price practices on this route. And furthermore, we are asking for support from our local leaders in Guam and the Sinai to attract alternative carriers or subsidize regional charter services. We also ask for a formal review of federal aviation regulations regarding monopolistic pricing in U.S. territories. We also ask for consideration of a class action lawsuit or consumer protection intervention if so warranted. Now, we, the residents and stakeholders of the Marianas, are tired of being ignored. We are frustrated. If this happened in Hawaii or the mainland, there would be national outrage. It is time we receive the same attention and protection as happens in Hawaii and other states and territories. Now, I respectfully urge your offices, our dear leaders, to prioritize this matter and stand with the people of Guam and the Sinai against this blatant corporate abuse. I really appreciate your time and attention, and I do appreciate your efforts. I also was a representative, and I understand the frustrations. But I'm no longer a representative. I am a private citizen, and I'm going to make my voice continue to be heard, whether in or out of office, as I've always stated. I hope we can work together. I hope we can find solutions to this, because what is happening right now is outrageous, it's unfair, and it hurts all of us. This is a time when our economies are hurting. We need to increase inter-island travel between the Marianas, and especially for development of businesses and prosperity, and also just so that families can see each other again. I wanted to go to Guam this June to watch my son play soccer in matches in Guam, but at an airfare of $767 per person for me and my wife, that is unaffordable and unattainable. I cannot afford to pay $1,500 for 2 people to go to Guam for 4 days. It is just out of our reach. And even at the discounted rate that they brag about, that it's as low as $299, $300 per person, that's still $600 for 2 people, which means we're going to have to somehow sacrifice and suffer later on, or put it on a credit card and pay the outrageous credit card rates that we are so used to already. The interest rates are ridiculous, but so are their airfares. So I kindly ask you, dear leaders, to do something about this, to work together, to lobby against the airline lobbyists that are in DC, that have many politicians in their frickin' pockets. And you know that exists because United has deep pockets with record-breaking profits, and they're spending so that they can continue on this monopolistic behavior, which is outrageous, unfair, and has to stop. There was a time when it was only $70 between Guam and Saipan. And they're like, well, that was so long ago. Yes, it was, but still, it was still affordable back then, and it can be affordable again. We just have to work together in ensuring that our voices are heard and carried over into DC, and that we have alternatives. We welcome alternatives. We welcome Hawaiian Airlines or whoever else is willing to come in. And we ask that this battle continue, that we all lobby together. Okay, I ask this as someone who really cares about the Marianas, but also someone who really finds importance in all of us traveling between our islands for so many various reasons. Thank you for allowing me to explain myself tonight. And dear leaders, I hope that you carry this forward, and that we all work together in ensuring that United stops these outrageous fares and gives us adequate, decent, affordable airfares. Thank you. Good night. God bless.
All right, and there you have it. I mean, that was the address that he put out last night on his Facebook, but you know, you can't fault any of that stuff. All that stuff sounds really accurate. I mean, look, hey, more than $700 to go to Guam is crazy. Now, you're right. You talked about that $299 in the comments, that $299 rate that United lets the local folks have if you do it through you change your residency. All that stuff sounds great, but not only
do you not get a bag with you on the plane? You also don't get credit for any of the money that you're spending, like for miles or the segments or anything like that. So it's not, while the price you pay is less, you can't bring anything there or bring anything back because you got to pay. And that's going to be like $40 each way for that bag. So your round trip for a bag is going to be an extra $80. So still, that's almost $400 round trip. And you don't get any credit for your miles or for your frequent flyers or anything. You would think you would want to incentivize local travel between the Mariana Islands, between Guam and the CNMI. That's where I just can't believe why they would just slap us in the face. And that's what that is. If it is nothing more than them saying, peasants. That's it. It's an absolute disregard for us. And it's completely indefensible. Completely indefensible. And that sucks. And now I'm not doing myself any favors with regards to sponsorship with them, because they definitely would not be happy to hear about that. But it's fair and it's accurate that they are not doing us any favors at all. It's Tobot says, go to Guam, empty, and buy underwear and a pair of clothes at Ross, and then return it before you leave to Saipan. Oh my God, you ratchet mamma jamma. I love it though. It is pretty good. It is pretty good. But it's not Ross's fault. It's United's fault. Really, it is totally United's fault. Now, if you work for United and you're just doing your job, this is not a dig on you. Don't feel bad. Don't get upset. Nobody's picking on you or anything like that. But if you work for United and you're in a position to do something about this, do something about this. Do something about it. Especially if you are from the Marianas. You're just working for a company, dude. Or dudette. You are just working for a company that is just trying to make some money off us. And that's a business thing. Right? Trying to make money. Can't fault them. This is egregious. You got to be banging that drum. Unless you just don't care. Because if you work for United and you're in a position where you could do something about this and you could speak to folks about changing this and you're not doing it, you're screwing over your own folks, man. That's all I can tell you. You are absolutely doing that. And, man, I don't know why we don't do enough about it. I don't know what there is to do about it. But I'll tell you what, our Congresswoman is doing a lot of those, banging on those doors. When I was in D.C. just a few weeks ago, this is one of the topics. We didn't talk about $700 because the prices weren't that high yet. But we did talk about that. And what the folks from the transportation committees were saying, well, that's easy. Essential air service. Hell, we have essential air service just for folks like you. We're not a part of it, and they're actually looking at rolling it back all the way. But the folks who are sitting United States congressmen said that we should be included in the essential air service bill. What does that mean? It means we would get federal assistance to make sure that our flights don't cost that much. And we're talking about GOP folks. The folks that we were meeting with, the people who are looking at paring down government handouts and money and all that other stuff, are the ones who are saying, you guys are getting screwed. We want to help you. This is something you should do. You should be a part of that essential air service program. Okay. Deal. Where do we sign up? Get us in there. And that's coming from them themselves. I heard it multiple times sitting in the offices of multiple United States congressmen when we talked to them about the issues plaguing us. I know the main thing that we were hitting them up about was the EVS TAP and the lack of movement on a lot of the applications that we're going through under that vetted program. But we talked to them about what's going on between our islands and how it's affecting our local population. EVS TAP's about tourists. We were talking to them about what's going on with our local folks, and that was a big part of it. And they said the same thing. Essential air service. You guys should absolutely be in there.
And hopefully that we get some movement on that. Oh man, I'm telling you, there's never a dull day here in the Marianas. It is a great place to live. And man, but there's a lot of stuff happening in the rest of the world too. So we're gonna get you caught up with the Associated Press. Here's the latest update.
AP News, I'm Haya Panzwani. The man who attacked a group in Boulder holding their weekly demonstration for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza planned to kill them all with Molotov cocktails. Authorities revealed that the man was posing as a gardener to get close to the group. Acting U.S. Attorney J. Bishop Grewell for the District of Colorado says the suspect, Mohammed Sabri Solomon, confessed after being taken into custody.
Mr. Solomon stated that he had been planning this attack for a year. And he acted because he hated what he called the Zionist group.
Around-the-clock work at Newark's airport is yielding results. The AP's Jennifer King reports.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy was on hand at Newark Liberty Airport Monday as a construction project wrapped up nearly 2 weeks early.
We're celebrating the opening of Newark's runway. And this is a 60-day project that actually is completed 13 days early.
The FAA expects to be able to ease flight limits at the airport next week. The second busiest airport in the New York City area has been plagued by cancellations and delays this spring because of technical problems and a shortage of air traffic controllers.
The problem we're seeing with controllers, it can't be fixed overnight. It takes time to train up on this airspace.
In the meantime, Duffy says that passengers that do book flights from Newark can expect fewer delays and cancellations.
If you want to book at Newark, you might get a little better deal if you're coming out of this airport. But if you book, you fly, and that's critical. That's important.
I'm Jennifer King.
Speaking with reporters, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked if President Trump would meet with his Russian and Ukrainian counterparts in a bid to find peace.
The president has said he's open to it if it comes to that, but he wants both of these leaders and both sides to sit down at the table together. And we saw them do that at the urging of President Trump today. But as for how the president feels about those talks and what took place there, I'll let him speak on that.
This is AP News. The Trump administration has made an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court.
The Trump administration is again asking the Supreme Court to step in over what the government calls federal judges overstepping their authority. In its latest emergency appeal to the High Court, the administration's asking the justices to pave the way for its federal workforce downsizing plans. That comes after an appeals panel refused to pause a federal judge's order halting the cuts. The judge had said the administration did not have congressional approval for the downsizing. The administration says the idea that the president needs explicit authorization from Congress for something like that is indefensible. The High Court has set a Monday deadline for responses from labor unions and cities who have sued over the administration's cuts. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
beautiful Tuesday morning. You know, we got a little bit of a sprinkle out there, but it's not that bad. And, we're going to end up getting some more rain probably today, probably tonight, and even tomorrow, but it's not that bad. It's 85 degrees outside right now, and it is a nice one out there. We're looking at highs as much as 87. Could be higher. Who knows? But it is going to be a little bit windy out there. Winds as high as 21 miles per hour with a 40% chance of rain. It's not going to feel as bad. The humidity's at 72% over there at the Saipan International Airport. Tonight, though, it is going to drop down to as low as 78 degrees. My goodness. Get a scarf, get some mittens, get some boots. And it's probably going to rain tonight, too. They got chance of precipitation at 30%. That's as good as a 1 in 3 chance of hitting a base hit, pretty much. So it's not that bad. Man, I'll tell you, Bruce, you're right that we'll lower the blood pressure from United Airlines a little bit. I've got so much more of those videos to put up for you, and I'll be doing it all week. And that's kind of like a comedian. Hey, I'll be here all week. We pretty much hit all the main things that we want to get to today. We talked about all the big stuff that's happening in the Marianas, the big headlines that came out yesterday, and what's in courts now. I mean, all the big stuff. And if we're missing something, let us know. That's what we count on you. Of course, we're the NMI News Service, and it's Good Morning Marianas. But the good news is that, man, I'll tell you what, we have no idea how to do any of this stuff. Just kidding. We know how to do some of it. But we don't have an ability to cover everything and be everywhere at every time and know everything unless you're sending it to us. So please continue to let us know what's going on. You can message us right here directly. And in fact, I can't wait to post this later. We've got another article from the good folks over at NM Posse. Cleo Nenning has a great story. I'm going to be posting that up after we're done with the show today. But folks, we're the home for all kinds of different things. We got baseball for you. We've got the parade that's coming up next month. We've got the press conferences. We've got live stuff. We've got our own local live shows. You can get in there, too. We got the folks from NM Posse doing Advocacy Amplified. We skipped a little beat because of my dance stuff, because we were going to have one last week, but I ended up staying in New York an extra week. We've got Off the Hill with Marissa Flores, and that's a lot of fun. We also have Sip Happens with the Marianas Business Network. And we're also looking at having another one with PK. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get all this stuff started with you guys and continue all this stuff with all of us. Anyway, going to get back to catching stuff up. I got a meeting in a little bit. Holy cow, K-Stone, good morning. Great to see you. One day at a time is absolutely right. It's the only way to go. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap us up for today. Continue to watch us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us over on YouTube. That's NMI News 670. That's a big deal for us because who knows how social media is going to work. And so YouTube is a great way for us. All these live broadcasts over on the Facebook side only last for 30 days, and now then they start taking them off. So you're not going to be able to check all the old stuff. That's something that you'll be able to do on our YouTube channel. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's it. That's the best way to go. What else can you do? You can follow us over on Instagram, NMI News Service, and of course right here on the NMI News Service on Facebook. So I think that's it, guys. Unless you got anything else, it looks like that's it. So thanks for tuning in. I'm a fan of you. Thanks for being a fan of us. And we'll see you back again tomorrow morning at 7-ish, somewhere between 7 and 7:30 for Good Morning Marianas. Take care, you guys. Have a great day.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we got to discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun. Oh. Good morning, Marianas.
Hi, I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.